Apparently, people have been spending over $5,000 to renovate the inside of their RV, and for us, that was just simply not in the budget. Some areas, you do just have to bite the bullet and actually buy the material and get it installed, like maybe the floor or the paint. And surprisingly, one of the more expensive things to get done on this list of RV renovations for most people is actually the kitchen backsplash. When we were looking to renovate our RV and get the backsplash done and looking nice like it is now, we got a couple quotes from people, and it was going to be over $500 to even $1,000 for some people to get like real tile on this. But like I said, simply just not in the budget. So instead, we got some tile peel and stick backings here, and they work great. And we did everything for probably under $70 and like 2 or 3 hours of work. And now we chose the peel and stick tile for a couple of reasons. The main one wasn't actually price, it was more so the weight. Because when you're driving in an RV across the country, weight is everything. It affects your gas mileage and also determines how loud it's going to be when it's all shaking around. So adding a couple 100 pounds for tiles here and in the bathroom and everywhere else, that's going to add up over time. And it's going to be more expensive to install it, and then you're going to get worse gas mileage, which is going to make it more expensive in the long run. And another main reason why we chose the peel and stick is that with real tile, you need a little experience to figure out how to put them on. I'm sure there's countless videos on YouTube on how to do it. I personally haven't put in tile very much, but the peel and stick is pretty much just a sticker, and I was pretty confident in our ability to get that done. So then when we decided to purchase the peel and stick tile, we went to the hardware store down the street. I think it was a Menards and a Home Depot. Both of them had peel and stick hardware tile. However, it was like $40 to $50 a box for some of them, and we didn't want to pay $300-400 for like a fake peel and stick background backsplash. So we did what any reasonable person would do, looked online, and of course Amazon had them for like 20-25 bucks for a box, and we only needed like 3, maybe 4 boxes to do the whole area. They are pretty easy to install, however it's not quite as simple as just peel it off and stick it on there. There's a little bit of prep work done. We actually scrubbed all of this with a crud cutter that we found at Home Depot for like a couple bucks, and then we actually put a fresh coat of paint on it. That wasn't really intentional for this. We weren't sure if we were going to do it or not. But so we had that crud cutter to get all the grease and dirt off of it, especially important in the kitchen where you're cooking. And then we put on that fresh coat of paint with the primer and then put these on here. And they've been up for, I think, 8 months now in different temperatures and different conditions. And we haven't had any issues with them peeling or falling off. But then once all the prep work is done, it really is as simple as just peeling it off like a sticker and putting it on there. But as you can tell, our backsplash is not perfectly square. It has all these little notches and ridges around it, around like the oven and switches and wall outlets. So for that, we pretty much just took like an X-Acto knife or like a utility knife and put it on the ground with a piece of plywood, and we would measure it all out, trace it, and then put a tile on the plywood and then cut it in a straight line with a ruler or a piece of wood, and it worked pretty well. And then once everything's all cut out and ready to go, you really do just peel it off and then you push it on there. We would push it on and then rub our hands over it, really put our weight on it. I think you can use like a credit card to get all the air bubbles out of it. And then every 5 or so minutes, you just come back and push on to make sure all the edges are down. I know some people will put like Gorilla Glue on the back of it on top of the adhesive. I think that might be a little bit of an overkill. And if you ever want to change it out and you put Gorilla Glue on it, you're going to need to replace like the whole wall. And like I said a couple of times, we installed all of this. I think we got 3 or 4 boxes from Amazon. I'll link them below, the exact ones we got if you want to match this. And we installed all of them in, I think, 2 days over like a 2 to 3 hour span. We kind of did it like at the end of the day when we were trying to finish something up. So we did it just pretty peacefully, and then we left and came back the next morning, finished it. Super easy to do. We have never done this before, and I think it turned out pretty well. We get a lot of compliments on it. People think that it's like real tile until you tell them that it's actually like a peel and stick tile. And from a distance, if you didn't know it was peel and stick, you would think it was a real tile actually. So in our opinion, definitely worth it. Definitely worth the 70-80 bucks for all the peel and stick tile and a couple hours of labor instead of paying someone or doing it yourself with real tile. Plus, if it falls apart, you can just put on another one. It's not like a tile where it's a whole process where you gotta clean it and regrout it and everything. Well, I hope this video was helpful, and make sure you subscribe for other RV construction and tips.